This is the first Vinyl Finds video of 2019, and I have a crap ton of stuff to show. Um, so I haven't made a Vinyl Finds video in about 2 months, and I've acquired a ton of stuff since then. So this is gonna probably be a very long video. So we're gonna start out with the 45s. I don't really have many 45s, but lately I've been wanting to get more. For all my Beach Boys fans out there, I know there's a ton of you. This is my favorite Beach Boys song. This is Get Ya Back with Male Ego on the B-side. Not heard the B-side yet, but it's pretty good. I bought this fairly recently. I used to not like this song, Get Ya Back, but it just grew on me. And then the other 45 I have is an original, I think it's an original, a Buddy Holly, Peggy Sue, backed with That'll Be the Day. And if your name is Anna Morgan and you live in Cincinnati, Ohio, I have your 45 if you happen to be watching this. Doubtful, but hey, you never know. Alright, now for the LPs. Got a bunch of LPs, some reissues, some originals. This is a German 180 gram pressing of Tom Petty's first album. I got this on my birthday, actually, and I still have not listened to it yet. But I will probably give it, well, yeah, I will give it a spin eventually. And then we got Todd Rundgren, Something Anything. Not the biggest Todd Rundgren fan, but I saw this for fairly cheap. And I've always heard good things about this album. I do like Todd Rundgren's hits, like Hello, It's Me, which I think is on here. And I Want to Bang on the Drum All Day. Then we got... Oh, that's an original, by the way. This one is not an original. I don't know what year this one came out, but I know it's not an original. Debut of Simon and Garfunkel, Wednesday morning, 3 a.m. Now I have every Simon and Garfunkel album in some way, shape, or form. The only two I'm missing on vinyl are Sounds of Silence and Parsley, Sage, Rosemary, and Thyme. Those are the only ones I'm missing on vinyl. Then we got, this is an original, Rolling Stones, Tattoo You. I bought this on my birthday as well. They had 2 copies of this, and the other one they had was like covered in like dog hair, and I'm like, that's gonna be something to clean, so I decided to go for this. I don't have a record cleaner yet. I do plan on getting one soon, though. And then we got... This is a reissue of Queen News of the World. I finally have some Queen. Always good to have some Queen in the collection. This one's a really good album. I actually have this album on 8-track. It's the only 8-track I own, but someone who I love dearly gave me their 8-track. So, yeah. Really good album. Really great artwork, too. I think this is one of the best album covers ever, in my opinion. Alright. Now for all my Prince lovers. Of course, I'm representing Prince right now. This one, original pressing of Sign of the Times. Not in the best condition ever. There's some ring wear. There's a little bit of ring wear and stuff like that. Some of the corners aren't the best, but it plays nicely. I got it for $20. But yeah, it plays really well. And then this one's in wonderful condition. 1999. This is an original pressing. Plays very, very well. Like, I couldn't believe it. Very well. And then I found this very recently. Prince's Dirty Mind, original pressing. I think it is. Yeah, original pressing. That's for all my Prince friends out there. So I plan on getting a lot more Prince stuff too. So yeah. And then this one, I can't believe I never had this on vinyl. I always wanted to find a good copy, and I've had opportunities to get good original. I even had the opportunity to get this sealed with a hype sticker, but I didn't have the money on me. But now I have a copy that plays well. Led Zeppelin 4, or Untitled, or Zoso, or Four Symbols, or whatever you guys want to call it. It's an original pressing, no skips. It plays really nicely, barely any crackles. Now this one is kind of a sad story. This is a reissue of Led Zeppelin 2. And what makes this sad is I was playing this one day, and I was flipping over the record, and I dropped it on the floor, and I ended up causing a scratch on the first song of side 2. Now, thankfully there are no skips, but you can definitely hear where I dropped it. So I'm kind of pissed about that. So, anybody wants to buy a slightly used Led Zeppelin 2 off of me, there you go. I'll probably get an original at some point, or, yeah. Really made me mad that I did that. Alright, and then we got, this is an 80s pressing. I thought it was an original, but I looked more into it. It's an 80s pressing. Jerry Lee's Greatest Hits. This came out in 89. I've actually been having a really big interest in like older rock and roll lately. So I've been wanting to get more 50s and 60s, like 50s, early 60s rock. Trying to look at some of that stuff on Discogs is really it's high in price. And then phenomenal Green Day record, Dookie. No Bert on the back cover, but wonderful album, of course. Wonderful album. Then here's a psychedelic masterpiece, Grateful Dead's first album. It's just, there's not much I can really say about it. Great record. Great record. My favorite song off of this is probably Cream Puff War, or Morning Dew is another good one. Yeah. Grateful Dead's first album. This one is not an original pressing. I've been obsessed with this artist lately. Elvis Presley. Golden Records Volume 3. This is not an original pressing. This is actually a mid-70s pressing. It's on the Tan RCA label. I do plan on getting an original. I plan on getting an original for all of Elvis's stuff, but that'll be a long journey. But yeah, Elvis's Golden Records has Little Sister, Marie's the name. It's Now or Never, which I think could have been a Roy Orbison song. Got this not yesterday, a couple days ago. This is the newest reissue of Chuck Berry's The Great 28. I have some Chuck Berry. I always wanted to get this album. So yeah. Great 28. Plays nicely. And then this is for Ed, the King's Court. I know he's a pretty big fan of this band. This is a promo copy of Cheap Trick's debut album. Demonstration, Not for Sale. Has a little bit of ring wear. Mostly on the back, though. But, yeah, got it for $12, and it's a nice promo copy. So, yeah. This one's another one that's kind of, I kind of got screwed over by the record store with this one. This one's a copy of Blink-182's Enema of the State. Believe it or not, I love Blink-182. Or at least the era with, at least the era before they broke up originally. They came back, I want to say 10 years ago, but I haven't really paid attention or really cared for those albums. But I opened it up, and it was warped. This record's warped. Now, I know there's ways to unwarp a record, I just haven't gotten to it yet, but man, it kind of pissed me off a little bit. But it's a good album nonetheless. I mean, the warp doesn't affect any, like, playback, but it's still just kind of annoying. But yeah, Enema of the State. This one is really underrated psychedelic rock record. Well, more psychedelic pop, I guess. The Beau Brummels Triangle. I went through a little bit of a phase with the Beau Brummels. This is a reissue. I'd love to get an original at some point. What's really cool about this one, though, is it's on colored vinyl. It's on nice colored vinyl, if I can get it out. That took longer than expected. But yeah. It's on a nice, like, translucent blue colored vinyl. I think that's cool. Really underrated album. Anybody who just loves psychedelic stuff from the Summer of Love, you'll love that album. Alright, after this we got one more. Finally bought a copy of this. This is a mono copy of the Beatles' Rubber Soul. This is from the 2014 reissues. Good album, of course. Good album. Have I even opened this yet? Yes. Looks like I still hadn't opened it, but yeah. Rubber Soul. Then last but not least, this is again for all the Beach Boys fans. I finally buckled down and got a pressing of Pet Sounds. It's a pretty good album. I used to think this album was overrated, but after getting this, I thought it was a pretty decent album. This pressing is not that great, though. I might see if I can find another one, but I know originals, for some reason, are way overpriced. But yeah, that's all my records. Very, very long video, I know, for my standards. So, stay tuned for more, and yeah, I have departed.